So if you've been following me for any length of time, you know how much I love a builder in a bottle, or the products that create a structured manicure. And you know that my favorite system to do this is Luminary. I get mine through the Nail Throne, but you can also purchase directly through Luminary. I'm just in Canada, so it's easier for me to get it through a Canadian distributor. I also like supporting Canadian small businesses, so if you are Canadian, may I suggest purchasing through the Nail Throne. So the Luminary Nail Systems is known for their structured manicures. That is the point of the system. Natural nails with their multi-flex soak-off gel product over it creates beautiful structured manicures. You can use just their products. They have so many different colors, like tons of like cover pink kind of colors. And then they have a gray, a purple, a yellow, and a blue. And clear, obviously, and a white and a black. So you can use just one of the colors, do the structured manicure right over the nail, top coat, bing bong boom, you're done to go. What? You're good to go. So that is the intended use of Luminary nail systems. And I love using it that way. The adhesion of this product is unbeatable in my opinion. I have never found a product that adheres to the natural nail quite as impeccably as the Luminary nail systems does. I don't know if it's the combination of the primer and the product, if it's just the primer, like I don't know. I love it. Since we already know how to use it for its intended use, creating the structured manicures, I thought in today's video, I would share my favorite ways of using the Luminary nail systems that aren't for structured manicures. You know, like how medication is created for one thing, but it also turns out to help something else, you know, like Viagra. Ooh, hang on, I have a post-it note that I wrote little notes on. One sec. I am professional. So we're gonna chat about these other uses. I also have, let me put this down. So we're gonna chat about the other uses for Luminary. I also have some example footage that I created for you that we'll overlay, put somewhere so you can see what I'm talking about. But that's why this hand looks banana sandwiches. Okay, so the next closest thing to like a structured manicure in my usage of Luminary nail systems, instead of using it to like build that structure and that shape and creating a structured manicure, I like to use it essentially as a base for just a gel manicure. So in my example, I'm using gel polish, the Glitter Bells gel polish. I will do one single coat of the Luminary and kind of just scrub it into the nail. I really like using this as a base for gel polish. Personally, I use it all the time on my nails. That's what this hand is, and it's grown out something fierce. So this is a thin coat of Luminary Clarity with, again, Glitter Bells. I think this is Milky Shimmer, and then the holographic top coat on top of that. And my nails are severely grown out and I've trimmed them, but they're still holding on, that adhesion, man. So what I like to do is prime with Commit, use a, like I mentioned, a thin scrubby coat. I like to usually use Clarity. For this example, I'm using Pressons, the white one. You can see on film easier than with clear. Also, Pressons is excellent to use under polishes that might be a little bit more sheer or that are a little bit neon and you want that white behind it to really make it pop, as opposed to having like skin tone behind it, right? Especially with neons. If you're using a green or a yellow neon, the color slightly alters and becomes muted because of the skin tone color underneath it. You add a really thin coat of Pressons over top, it like neutralizes the skin tone and allows those neons to really, really pop. Because I used a dark color in this example, I wasn't too worried about if the white Luminary was like perfectly even. I wasn't too worried if there was like, if it was a little bit patchy or not. But if you're using a lighter color, you would want to sort of play with it a little bit more to make sure that it's an even coat. So I normally don't do just gel polish manicures. Most of them are structured, but once in a while I do get a client who just wants a gel polish manicure. And I am able to use any gel in my collection over top of the Luminary, the coat of Luminary. Nice and safe. I'm not worried about allergies. I'm not worried about mixing systems. And the adhesion of the Luminary underneath any single color I've used is impeccable. Okay, I have to move on or we're gonna be here for a really long time. It took me 15 minutes to get through that one. So a base for color, excellent. Also an excellent base for enhancements. If you're going to be sculpting out, using forms to sculpt out your enhancements. All of my prep and everything is the same all the time. So I do my prep, I clean the nails, I dehydrate the nails, I go in with my commit primer, 1 coat of whatever luminary color you choose. Again, I chose Pressons because it was easier to see on camera. Pop on your form and you can sculpt out your enhancement, your extension. The product that I'm using in the example are generally what I would use to sculpt out really long nails, not how short I did in the example, but I just didn't feel like sculpting a really long nail on myself and then having to trim it later. So I just did a little guy, just for the example, just so you got the idea. Otherwise, I probably just would have done this enhancement with Luminary, which we'll get to. So again, using different systems requires different base and prep products. I am using the Fusion Sculptures here in this example, and I do have all of their prep and base like products. So I could have easily just used those, but I wanted to show you the example. I wanted to show you the example for 2 reasons. One, I do often have some clients who they have all their natural nails and we have a luminary structure manicure over them and they look great. 1 nail breaks. We're gonna sculpt it out to match the rest. Instead of having to remove that entire nail, all of that product, I will just debulk so that there's a nice even layer of luminary on the nail, and then we'll do all of our prep, do another layer to cover any regrowth from the nail, cure it and all that sort of good stuff, and then sculpt out their nail with a sculpture product, depending on how long their nail is. If it's really short, I'll just use the luminary. Again, we'll get to that. If it's really long, I feel more comfortable using an actual sculpting product. Another reason I like to use this product underneath sculpted nails is, again, the adhesion of it is amazing. And I don't know why, but I find my clients and me personally don't get, you know, like the curling on the free edge. As your enhancements grow out, your free edge is showing behind the nail. And you know how sometimes, especially if you're not using cuticle oil, they will curl, the edges will curl in, and that's where you get like, you know, breakage and just like gunk under the nails and lifting and gross stuff. I find if I use a thin coat of literally whatever color of luminary, cure that. I have tried leaving the sticky layer on it and going over with the product, and I have tried cleansing the sticky layer off and going over with the product, and both I've had no problems with. And it seems to keep the nail attached to the enhancement. I don't know why, but it does. I don't know if the luminary adds that a little bit of strength to the nail so that it's not curling in. I have no idea, but it stops that curling in most of the time. Every once in a while it still happens, but. So let's chat about using luminary to create an enhancement, since I mentioned it twice already. I created a teeny little enhancement on my thumb using only luminary. I like doing this again. If we're doing a luminary structured manicure and 1 nail breaks and they're, you know, shorter, then I love using luminary to just build out that free edge and adding a little bit of length to it. I also really love doing it for like a natural French sort of style, using the Pressons at the tip, which is exactly what I did in this example, using the Pressons at the tip and then going over with the clarity. And it's great because you don't need to worry too much about the smile line being perfect, because it's more like a natural nail look, because Pressons isn't a pure perfect white. It's sort of an off-white, and because it's not super pigmented, it does have a milkiness to it. It creates that natural white that you would naturally have on your nail. You can either sculpt it out like this, or you can even just use the clear to sculpt it out. But again, I wanted you to be able to see it. Let's say you're not creating an enhancement, right? You just want to brighten the free edge of your nails or your client's nails. 1 nice even coat of Pressons and you've got like nice crispy tips, and they still look more natural than like a super pigmented solid French white. I don't like, back to the enhancement portion of this, I don't like sculpting out enhancements using luminary if they're really long, but for something short, like a natural length nail, which I mean anything could be natural length, it all just depends on how long you grow your nails, but you know, like a sport length, let's say. Excellent, so excellent, it's so cute. Let's talk about using it as a base for press-ons. So as you can see, this baby here is still kind of like white. It's also very crooked. Let me explain to you the crookedness of this nail. So it's crooked because I kept filing, these were naked before I did these examples. So I kept filing down this side because about 6 years ago or so, I got a really mild chemical burn on these two fingers working at a cafe in the dish cleanser stuff. It was too strong. And the night before I had done my nails, so I had buffed them. And I just think buffing them thinned out my nail plate maybe a little bit too much, and then putting them in the chemicals, I got a teeny bit of a chemical burn on both of these nails. My pinky seemed to have recovered a lot better, even though the burn was worse. This one, I have a teeny crack that starts about, oh, you can't even see. I have a teeny crack that starts about halfway up my nail. It doesn't hurt or anything, but as my nail grows out, if there's nothing on it, it doesn't split and it doesn't crack or break, but it will constantly feel like there's a little bit of a rough edge, and it will catch in my hair and catch on my clothes and stuff. So I've been constantly filing it down. That's why it's on a weird angle like that. And I didn't even think, just put a coat of Luminary on it and it'll stop. It totally stopped feeling that way. Perfect. If my nails aren't naked, if I have product on it, my nail is absolutely fine. So back to press-on base. Any color you want to use, doesn't matter. I used white so you could see it. In order to wear your press-ons properly and have them properly fit and size them correctly, you need your nails to be naked. If you have product on it, your nail isn't going to be flexible. It's not going to possibly, you know, give according to the press-on. And also your press-ons are going to be the wrong size. If you try to size them with product on your nail, they're going to be the wrong size. If you size them with product off your nail and then try to put them on with product on your nail, they're going to be too small. All that sort of good stuff. But not everybody likes walking around with naked nails. And maybe you're somebody who likes to put on press-ons, you know, for a few days here, and then you don't want press-ons on for a few days, and then you want them on again, you don't want them on. So putting product on, taking it off, putting press-on, like it defeats the purpose of the quickness of the press-on. So what I love doing, one coat of Luminary. It has added enough structure that, again, I'm not getting that little picky bit. My nails aren't unnecessarily bending, but they're still flexible enough that I can put the press-on and it will fit. It's not bulky, so bulky that it pushes the press-on like far out from the nail, so it looks really chunky. Now, I only do this with the tabs. I have not tried this with glue, so I cannot speak to how it would last with glue. So by adding this thin coat of Luminary over it, it's protecting my natural nail. I can just yank the press-on with the tab right off without having to, you know, put in much effort at all. And keeps my nail healthy and safe and stops any little pulley bits, and I don't have a naked nail. Yay. So you could absolutely do this with the clear, and then you wouldn't even notice that you had something on your nail. Throw it on, go about your life. The last usage, and this is by far my favorite usage for Luminary nail systems, is as the gel that adheres full cover gel tips, like the Apres X. I like using those on my clients, especially when we're doing like a lot of nail art. That way we get perfect shape, perfect structure, and then we can just get right into nail art and not spend thousands of years getting their nails into shape. And I absolutely love using the Luminary nail systems with my Apres X and Painted Desert full cover tips. I have tried the Apres X gel system for the full cover tips. I've tried that. It works. It's great. It does its job. I get better adhesion with Luminary. Basically, it just comes down to the adhesion on the nail. I can use it and my client can come in literally 4 weeks later and have no lifting when I use Luminary with my Apres X. When I use Luminary for anything, they can go 4 to 5 weeks without any lifting. I mean, as long as they're not being absolutely ridiculous with their nails. Like, Luminary still doesn't hold up to like car doors and things like that. So I haven't tried any of the other colors from Wait. I have tried many of the other colors. I haven't tried using them with full cover tips. So I haven't tried using, like, say one of the cover pink, like I think like Balance or Serenity or Drive. I haven't used any of those to adhere the full color tips. Nope, full cover tips. I haven't used any of those. My fear is that because they're not clear, the light won't penetrate the same way and we won't get the same adhesion. But that doesn't make any sense because I use those for structured manicures and the light penetrates just fine. So, but just so you know, I've only used Clarity to apply my full color tips. Nope, full cover tips, and I absolutely love it. A scrubby coat to really get into the nail grooves and really get that adhesion. Cure that. I don't use that as my slip layer. I cure that. I know some nail techs use that scrubby layer as their slip layer and it works perfectly fine for them. Love that. Not for me. I do that scrubby layer, cure it. I do a thin sort of slip layer, if you will, down sort of the center of the nail. And then on the cover tip, I obviously prep it and do, again, like a slip layer down on the tip and then scrape the tip at the cuticle area against my brush so that I get that like little blob of gel right at the cuticle area. And then I just, you know, like exactly like the tutorials for all cover tips show you. You put it on, press it down. I did it on myself in this demonstration, which was a little bit awkward for me to do on myself and film it at the same time without like one of those cool Curie flashlight things. I don't know why. I don't have one. I wish I did. And then obviously I clean up the cuticle. You can use whatever bit you feel comfortable using, shape it, file it, and go on with color, just like you would with any other product to adhere those. All right, sweet, beautiful friends, that's gonna be it for me in this video. I hope you enjoyed it, possibly even learned something. Leave me a comment below. Let me know if there's anything else you want to know about Luminary, if there's any videos you want to see about Luminary. I will also link my other Luminary videos and an entire Builder in a Bottle playlist in the description box up here somewhere for you. It will all be linked. So if you have nothing else to do, go ahead and give those a little binge watch, or not. It's your choice. I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, join us. Give this video a thumbs up to feed the algorithm. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!